And when I read Jim Rohn say that, I was like, damn, success does leave clues. Like if you study successful motherfuckers, like you can skip some of the process. You can skip levels.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Spark Seekers. This is episode number 2, the show where we talk to interesting people about finding and cultivating their spark. The spark is the enthusiasm to live for the sake of living.
Let's go.
Yep. And today I've got guest number 2 and my good friend Andres Zannelli with us. Andres is an e-commerce veteran and a content creator. Most importantly, Andres is a G and he keeps it real. He is always sharing wisdom and inspiration with everybody around him. So very excited to have him on the show today. And thank you for being here, brother.
And the crowd goes wild. What's up, man? Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome.
Let's fucking get into it, bro. Break out the mezcal.
Hell yeah. Mezcal, baby. Worm salt afterwards.
Worm salt. I've never heard anyone call it that.
You've never had worm salt?
No, bro.
It's
Are you talking about
grinded
like
up.
the actual worm?
It's salt that is like mixed with ground up dead worms from Mexico.
Florida people are different.
Yeah, Florida people. That's how Florida. Yeah. It comes out of me every once in a while.
Let's go, bro.
Yeah, brother. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Mm-hmm.
And let's get into it. So, as you know, we just went over what the spark is, and on this show, we like to start with identifying what your spark is, how you came to identify it, how you've cultivated it, what you're working on, and go from there. So, what is your spark?
Yeah, so I would say like my spark summed up would be like anything that ultimately helps people in like some way, shape, or form, whether it be like a product, a piece of content, or even like an event. I was telling you about events, like I used to throw events and they'd be free, kind of, but to get in, you had to donate something. So that's where I would be like, oh, okay, this is helping people, bringing people together, networking, connecting, meeting your future ex. I don't know. And then like we donated to something, you know, like the kids or to some shelters in downtown. Have you been to Skid Row?
Yes.
Ever? Yeah.
I got a tour recently. I don't know if you can call it a tour.
No.
If that's really appropriate, but I got to experience Skid Row for the first time.
It's just wild,
a couple
huh?
weeks ago. It is nuts.
The juxtaposition of like the highlight reel of Los Angeles, and then you drive through Skid Row, and you're like, "Whoa, this is different."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, I spent some time in Skid Row helping out, like in 2013 to 2016, like just through different organizations and different companies. So yeah, I mean, like the shit that sparks me up is kind of like I don't know, man. I just live life and I'm curious about shit. And I'm just kind of like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we did that and then see how it can, one, be challenging enough to like actually make it cool, and it's like that's where the spark comes from. Because if you just do shit that's like mundane, you're not gonna get a spark. You're not gonna create your spark. Right. So I want to like okay. So something that I want to do this summer, and this is like a spark thing for me, is I was in Target, and I'll tell you the whole story. My girlfriend was in Croatia, and for every day that she was gone, she like wrote me a letter, and I had to open it every single day.
That's amazing.
And it was like, yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
Really, like, take notes, ladies. And sometimes it would be like a nice little reminder. Sometimes it would be like something a little flirty. Sometimes it would be like a mission. Like it's like, go to the store and buy me like the first thing you see, like something like that. And I'll do the same thing for you. It's really cool. So I went to Target, and I found like the water balloon thing that like you can make 50 water balloons at once, you know?
Yeah, the splitter.
Exactly.
You put it on the hose, and then it's got like a bunch of tentacles, blows them all up. Yeah.
Exactly. So I was like, man, I want to throw a water balloon party. That would be cool.
Yeah.
But like huge. I don't know if you follow Side Talk NYC on Instagram or like TikTok.
I do.
Man on Street
Instagram.
Style. I love that shit. And they
funny.
They just did a water balloon fight in I think it was Central Park. But they do like big snowball fights, big water balloon fights, and I want to do something like that, but I want to do it with this organization I've been working with in Watts, like in the hood.
Watts.
Like it's near Compton.
Okay.
So it's like South Central, and there's this organization called Red Eye Inc., and they have a empowerment center there. It's kind of like a Boys and Girls Club. Think of it like that. Right in the middle of the projects, large building. And my homeboy Justin Mayo is the one that shout out Justin, bro, you're killing it. He put together this this initiative and got so many people involved. Like we're talking the Jenners, the Kardashians donate weekly, like Whole Foods donates food weekly to this huge shipping container that's now a refrigerator in the back of the center. Like FIFA has donated a
Wow.
soccer field, like NBA 2K with like it's fucking sick. Like
All
it's
part of the Red Eye organization.
all part of it, bro. And
Wow.
basically it's just like an extracurricular place for kids to go to from that area. So they kind of just like stay out of trouble and they just have places to learn and grow different things. Like they have a music center in there to make music and like gaming and painting, like it's sick.
Yeah.
And they have a huge field in the back. That's actually where I rode my horse for the first time. I rode a horse
in the hood in LA.
They had a hood. They had a horse in
Talk
the hood.
about juxtapositions.
They had the horse in the hood, and I was like, "All right, I'm gonna get on my little Nas X. I'm gonna ride this shit."
Yeah.
and I rode it, but I think it would be sick to just throw a huge water balloon fight there, and then get all these big brands to sponsor it, and like. So I'm working with some of my friends to organize it. I reached out to Justin. He's like, "Yeah, just email this person. Let's set it up." Like he's really cool. And yeah, so that's something that is just, it's not in line with like a financial thing for me,
Right.
or like a product or
But
anything.
you're extremely excited about this. Extremely
Fucking
passionate.
sparked up
Yeah.
because it's just like,
Sparked
isn't
up.
that fun?
Yeah.
Like, let's just meet up, have a water balloon fight, and then like also we can help people out and like hang out with some kids and like hit them with water balloons, like grow their character. You
Yeah.
know?
You know who you should have perform at this?
Who?
You know Dada Life? Okay, they're
I wanna say I
believe
do.
they're a Swedish EDM house
Okay, no, I
duo.
don't.
Okay. Two bald guys,
Uh-huh.
and their thing is like bananas and champagne and pillow fights. And they have this song called Happy Violence.
Mm-hmm.
So Happy
Interesting.
Violence.
Yeah.
And at all of their shows, they pass out these little pillows that are easily ripped open, so all the filling comes out.
Word.
And they play the song Happy Violence,
Mhm.
and when it drops, everyone starts like going crazy with
And
the
it just
pillows,
opens.
and like the fluff's going everywhere, and everyone's
Why
just
don't I
having a
know
good
about
time.
this?
Yeah, they're like probably my favorite EDM duo.
That's
And
sick.
they'll be at Academy in LA in a couple weeks.
Academy right here.
Yeah.
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 Well, they
But I
kind of
love-
did like the Steve Aoki thing, like
Yeah.
to do something interactive with
Yeah.
the crowd. That's
Yeah.
cool. I like that.
But I like the happy violence, right? Like the
Yeah.
water balloon fights, like we're fighting, but we're
Snail.
like it's all love.
Just nail a kid right in the head. Fucking build some character. You know what I'm saying? Sprinkle some like
Come on, man.
exactly. And I want to put like food coloring or like sparkle things in the water for some of them, and then if you get hit, you get like win something. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
You know, like so you just get hit with the golden one.
Yeah,
You're
the
like
slime
fucking
one or something
win
like
an
that.
Xbox. That'd be sick, dude.
Or $100 bill is just in the water balloon.
Yeah, pick it up. It's like Easter. So yeah, man, like that's where I find my spark. It's just kind of like being around people, opening my eyes in the world,
Mhm.
and just following my curiosity. I have a very like untraditional life from graduating high school to now. Like my resume is very untraditional,
Yeah.
but I
Not
love
very
it.
linear.
No, like, but I love it. I love it. Like, that's what gives me a spark. Like, that's why, like, I have like this entrepreneurial spirit. Like, I feel like every entrepreneur has this kind of insatiable spark in them to like just want to create things that they come across, you know. And
Yeah.
if they have the infrastructure, like, look at Elon. Elon has his hands in so many things. He doesn't have it in Twitter anymore, but he has his hands in so many things, and it's just like he's not actively doing everything in the company, but he has this spark and be like, yo, we should dig tunnels under the earth. Like, they're like, what? Like, that's a crazy thing. Like, let's
Yeah.
set up the infrastructure and get the right people involved to do it. But he has this spark in him to help. It's all for the greater good. That's why I fuck with him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shout out Elon.
Elon's a G. Shout out.
Elon's a G.
For
You're
sure.
going to get him on here one day.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 333. I'm calling it.
Shit. I mean, fucking, you could do it, bro. Joe Rogan's fucking 1,000 in, dog.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And we'll still have this sign.
But you got to have the sign. You got to frame this shit. That would be sick if like you graduate to like having a huge wall, and then like this is in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
and then everyone that comes like signs something.
Oh,
That'd be sick.
I like
bro.
that.
Shit,
Yeah.
that's it.
And the pictures.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That'd be sick,
Hell
bro.
yeah. Cool. So your spark is, and sparks are not easy to define, right?
They're
But
not.
and sometimes they are.
Mhm.
Sometimes they're very specific. Sometimes it's broad and difficult to explain and to grasp. But, clearly you have yours and it drives you.
Mhm.
when do you think you identified it? And this is
Mm,
something I'm trying to understand as I talk to more people, so that at some point, I can take this collection of conversations and learnings and interactions with all these different interesting people who have identified that spark
mhm,
and start to identify patterns
mhm.
and hopefully give some guidance to people who are looking for their spark and
Yeah.
looking to, get the gears in motion and get things moving in their lives. And so I always try to start looking back and see, can you identify if there was a time or an experience or a revelation or something that said, man, this is what I want to do, or I think this is what I want to do, and I'm going to try it.
Yeah, definitely something comes to mind. My senior year in high school was when I had like a pivotal fork in the road moment with one of my boys at the time. And I mean, I was a punk like in school. Like I was like in high school, I was less of a punk. In middle school, I was definitely a punk, but I was just like getting in trouble a lot. A lot of the trouble I got in was just like if I saw injustice, like I would say something. So if
Hmm.
like a teacher would treat someone like teachers would treat kids wrong, like in public school,
Yeah.
like teachers would fucking do some whack shit, bro. Like
This was
some
in LA.
no,
No.
this was a little north of LA.
Okay.
And some teachers would be bullies, bro, like straight up. And I would be the like I was a class clown, but I'd be the one that's like, "Hey, yo, that wasn't right. Like you
Yeah.
shouldn't do that." And then it's like, "Oh, he gets suspended for talking back to authority." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Fuck the authority. Like the authority sucks. Like they're doing whack shit."
They're taking
Anyways,
advantage of the being in authority.
yeah.
Yeah. And we see that
Fuck the
across
system.
different.
It
Yeah.
was like I got fuck the system tatted on my leg in like when I was 15 by my friend Cole. Because he was moving to Alaska and he was tattooing all the homies.
Hmm.
And I'm
I
very
love
much
that.
yeah I'm very much against like the system of things. I think this a lot of systems are broken. So I've had this kind of I don't know feeling since I was young. But anywho, I was I was into art. Like I was into graffiti
Hmm.
and also like illustration and just painting. Like I was an artist in high school, and I was gonna go to San Francisco and like pursue graphic design, and I would like I already had the trajectory like made,
Yeah.
and I would do some hustling as a kid, and like in high school, like I was making some money on the side, just doing some just like hustling, flipping shit, and just like some arbitrage of like buying shit from China and like but like something small,
Hmm.
and I never really noticed my skills in it until my friend approached me with a bigger idea, and he was like, "Yo, do you want to be a part of it and like put some money down? And then like you could be the marketer. You're really good at marketing, bro. Like you talk to everyone, you know everyone." And I'm like, "Huh, what's marketing?" And like I really didn't know. Like I
Yeah.
started like
You're just
researching
doing
it.
these things without consciously realizing that you're doing that.
Exactly.
I like
And
that.
what we did was we ordered like thousands of these you remember those power balance bracelets?
Yes.
Yeah. So we ordered them from China and got our high school's name on them and like in our high school's color and everything. So like three colorways, high school name. And we got them for 80 cents a piece and we were selling them for $20. Like we fucking cleaned up,
Hell
dude.
yeah.
And the spark happened when I had my locker full of these power balance bracelets. And this literally happened like in the last 2 months of my senior year because China shipping took a long time and you know how that goes. And
Yeah.
so the spark happened when I had people that I didn't really like in high school asking me if they could buy one, and teachers that had like previously suspended me asking me if they could buy one. So I would go to my locker and like open it up and get it. And I was just like one day I was like, damn, like I'm making money. Like this is pretty good. Like um I had a DJ set. Like I would scratch and everything. Like I was learning that. It was just like
Hmm.
a little hobby, and I sold that to put money in this. And I just started connecting all the dots, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I should get into business. And
Yeah.
and I start and just hanging around him, which was kind
Your
of funny.
business partner?
Yeah, his
Yeah.
name's Cher, and we
Shout out
still
Cher.
yeah, shout out Cher. He was very pivotal in my life when I was young, and we still keep in touch. But what's funny is that he used to be like an enemy of mine. Like for some reason we just didn't like each other, and
Hmm.
then my senior year I had like 5 classes with him. And I remember looking across we had weightlifting together. I remember looking across the gym at him, and I was like, "Fuck this kid." I was like, but why do I hate him?
Yeah.
Like, and I started really questioning it. I was like, I guess he's not that bad.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I have 5 classes with him. It's gonna be exhausting if like we're always
Beefing.
like beefing,
Yeah.
you know, because we would like just kind of go back and forth. I was like, you know what, like I'm gonna be open minded. I'm just try to be his friend.
Yeah.
And then he like one morning in econ class, that was my best class ever. Mr. Strahan was like the best teacher. Shout out Strahan. A lot of shout outs
Yeah,
right
a
now.
lot of
Shout out
shout-outs.
Strahan, bro.
Important people that
And-
influence
Exactly.
the path that
This
we took
guy,
to get to where we are.
So
right now.
smart. He was so smart. He knew everything, like pop culture stuff and like historical stuff and music. Like just
Those are the best teachers. The
always
ones
showed
you
up
go
in a
there and-
suit.
Yeah.
I was like, you're in fucking public school. Like, why are you showing up in a suit? I fucked with him though.
Mhm.
And we were in econ, and I was just waiting for him. We were waiting for the class to start, and then like Cher was sitting right next to me, and I was like, "What are you doing?" Like he was on his phone. He's like, "Oh, I'm like doing stocks right now. Like, look at I made $300 on the way to school today," and like he showed me,
Yeah.
and I was like, "What is this?" Like I didn't come from that, bro. Like I
No.
can't. I grew up like
And of course, they don't teach you that in school.
they don't
And
teach
that's
you
another
that.
conversation, which I'm sure. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, we could probably get into it, bro. That's another spark of mine. But I just like, I came from a different background, bro. Like, I came from a broken family, like food stamps, like single mother, like doing everything that she could. So, like, scarcity mindset, fixed mindset,
Adversity.
adversity. Just, we were economically challenged, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Which is a really good way of saying broke. And so I didn't like know all this like affluence and just like richness in life. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
And how to take advantage and make things happen.
I
How to
didn't
make
know that.
moves and how to
Yeah.
maneuver in business.
So
Yeah.
he kind of like was a window, and he just like showed me a door. Like he's like, look what's behind this door. Like indirectly, he never like sat down and was like, yo, let me teach you this shit. I just was like a fly on the wall and like asking questions.
hmm
So I was like, damn. And then we started doing the business stuff, and then I started going with him to like Rodeo just to like go into the city and like eat lunch and work there and like write. And it was like, what the fuck? I didn't know this world existed.
Yeah.
And that is like the start of the spark
Yeah.
because that influenced so many. I literally switched college career paths and everything
hmm
from that.
It's so interesting because you had this internal drive that you hadn't
Yeah.
recognized yet.
Mm-mm.
You were doing these things, but you didn't know that you were doing them, and you didn't know why you were doing them. I guess you needed money,
Mhm.
right? You were in a situation where I need money. I'm gonna just do what I need to
Mhm.
to get that money.
Mhm.
But there was no principles, there was no thought process behind it. It was just doing it because you needed to. But
Mhm.
but then you had and this external influence. This
Mhm.
Cher came in and kind of guided you, and sounds like he was a bit of a mentor.
Mhm.
And then at some point probably equal in your business partner, and
Mhm.
kind of helps shape that trajectory for you.
Yeah,
So I
man.
think that's one of the keys is finding the right people, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that you said, I don't really like this kid, but it's going to be a long year if we're beefing all the time, and you got up and you went over and you shook his hand.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Just open-mindedness.
yeah.
Yeah. And just growing up. Because I was a punk too. Like, like if I look back on him, like I was just bullying him. And like, cause he would bully me. And like, it
Right.
was just like two like alphas like going at it,
Yeah,
you know,
kind of like two Super Saiyans, and they're both just in the
Yeah,
energy
it's
field.
stupid.
Yeah,
it was really one of those things like, yo, we could probably do some shit together. And we did.
yeah,
We did. Because we did other stuff after that. So, yeah, man. I mean, looking back on it, being open-minded was the biggest thing. And just being able to be cringe. Because I remember people were making fun of me too
Yeah.
for selling that shit.
yeah.
And
You have
I was
to-
just laughing to the bank. Like, and those same kids now, I remember like there's some of them are in my DMs, like just asking me shit or like just, oh, I see you killing it or something. I was like, I'm just doing the same thing I was doing back then, but you were making
You
fun
said
of me
it was
for
weird then, right? Because
Mhm.
it was just different, and because it's
Mhm.
different, it was weird. We're in middle school. You're weird. You're selling candy. You're selling
Mm-hmm.
Livestrong bands. Whatever you're doing, right?
Yeah.
But no one else is doing that, and
Yeah.
and the ability to know that it doesn't matter.
Didn't matter, bro. I mean, fucking, we were making money.
Yeah.
Like during lunch, we were literally doing our pitch. We just would walk up to random groups and be like, "Yo, what's up? Like, stand up real quick," and be like, "Let me do the test to you." You remember?
Yeah, I remember
And I
that.
was
The
like-
bullshit.
I was like, "You want one of
Test.
these?" I was
Yeah.
like, "Everyone's got
Put
them.
your arm out, push down on it.
They're
then put the other
$40 at the
arm-
mall, but they're $20 with us."
Yeah,
And like some people would like, it caught on.
yeah.
It caught on. It was cool, bro.
I wonder if the real ones were ever actually real.
Fuck no.
No,
No, it was just a
there's
fashion
nothing.
statement,
Yeah,
bro. It was just fad. It was like
I
fidget
remember having one of
spinners.
those. I remember having a white one with the pink breast
Yeah.
cancer month. Wore that during football season.
We had
Yeah,
pink ones, we had
yeah,
green ones, and we had black ones. Yeah. Um, it was cool. And it taught me the first kind of like legit thing about business, like
that's the
contacting
fundamental.
China.
Yeah,
First, like selling something to put money into something, contacting China, going back and forth with models and samples, and then like shipping times, and then just going out there and selling.
mm-hmm.
Like, we spent like literally our whole lunch for a month, just 5 days a week, just going out and selling.
Hustling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and like sometimes in class, but it was mostly during lunch, which is cool.
mm-hmm.
And then from there, graduated and just kept following certain little hustles. They were little hustles that started the
Mm-hmm.
spark, and then eventually I got to eComm. Yeah, and eComm was cool.
And that was mixed lemonade,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, and then I had
Sunglasses.
some other ones too.
Yeah,
But that was probably like my best experiment, that I'd say, because the way it took off, and it was really organic, um, and it paid handsomely at the end. So it was cool. Shout out Mix Lemonade, bro. Great name. I
yeah.
fucking love that
I
name.
want a pair of those. Do you still have a box
I
somewhere?
don't, bro. That
No,
was years ago.
that
No, I
chapter's
don't.
closed.
Yeah, that chapter's closed, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I do want to create another sunglass company because that was just drop shipped, you
Mm-hmm.
know. I want to create like actual designs and like a legit sunglass company.
Yeah.
But that's on the shelf right now. I'm sure you have a lot of
A lot of shelf
shelved
ideas.
ideas that it's like, no, it's not the right time at the moment. So I just know that when the time's right, it will probably come when I have like X amount of capital, like probably like 1 million, to be like, all right, I'm gonna put this into design. I'm gonna hire the right manager. I'm gonna hire the right designer. Like, and then I just oversee the direction.
Mm-hmm.
But these guys will handle the day to day, because sunglasses are great margins, and
Yeah.
everybody wears sunglasses, and no matter what part of the world you're in, like there's gonna be sun sometime in the year,
And
no matter
people
what.
see other people wearing sunglasses.
Hmm.
That's the great thing about products like that.
And funny thing is like I don't even wear sunglasses. Like they don't really like I don't really look good in them. I don't know. I just don't like them.
Yeah. You
But I
gotta
love
protect your eyes, dog.
I love the dude. I need to protect my skin. I lay out. I
You
never
gotta
put
put
sunscreen on. Like I'm
oh
so bad. Gotta
yeah.
protect
Get
your
that
neck.
SPF 15.
But
Yeah.
yeah, man. And mix lemonade.
Yeah, that's dope. So when you answered the question, what is your spark?
Mm-hmm.
It was focused around helping people.
Yeah.
And when we went back to the high school days, you talked about being just a just person.
Mm-hmm.
When you saw things that were not just, you
Mm-hmm.
called them out,
Mm-hmm.
right? And obviously, making money is important and it's fun and the hustle is exciting. Where does that translate into? Money is something you need to have to accomplish bigger goals, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you talk about throwing the events to help people and greater goods and greater causes. So
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about that. Where, at some point did you realize, okay, I got enough money, I'm surviving now, I'm eating, people around me are eating. Am I still like what drives you? Is it to make money, or is it to help people and create a better world? And where did that transition start to take place?
I don't know when the transition started to take place. I
Or
think,
if it did.
yeah,
I
like I
mean,
mean, I guess like at a young age, like when you bring up the high school thing, like I was already helping people because there'd be people that like I said, being bullied, whether it's by
right.
a kid or a teacher, and I would step in because I just had that like outspokenness in me.
Yeah.
I didn't hold my words back, Like literally, my senior quote in the yearbook is stand your ground. Like that's just like a principle of mine, like just stand your ground, and so that's where it started, I guess. But when I started throwing events in 2015, 2016, around that time, because I threw a dozen events, and they were all free, and except my first one, I it was ticketed, and I broke even on that, which is very surprising because I've never thrown anything and at the time. And everything after that, I was like, let's just do it for free. Let's bring
Hmm.
people together. So I think that's where the transition started. But what drives me is not the money. It's definitely helping people in the end. I just know that money's needed. Like I actually have this conversation a lot with people when it comes to money, and it's usually the people that are good-hearted and like altruistic in some way that have a really negative relationship with money, and they almost like resent it. Like
Hmm.
it's almost like a virtual signal to be like, nah, I don't really need a lot of money. I don't money's not important. It's like, all right, let's take the philosophy side out of it. Money runs the world,
Yeah.
for better or for worse. That's it. And people are getting money. And right now, what I see is a lot of bad people are getting money. When you don't have morals or integrity or ethics in business, it's fucking easy to get money,
Yeah.
especially in this city, bro. This city, you can clean up, bro. If you don't got no fucking morals or ethics, you clean up nicely. You know what I'm saying? And those people are getting this money and they're doing a lot of shallow shit with it.
Hmm.
They're doing a lot of negativity with it. They're using it for power to influence other people and almost kind of like poison the ecosystem. That's how I mean, I've been around a lot of people and in a lot of different rooms, and I see how absolute power corrupts absolutely,
Hmm.
and power comes from money. So the way I see it is like motherfuckers are getting it. They're gonna go get it. You're gonna go get it. They're gonna go get it. I'm gonna go get it. And then once you got it, you get a seat at the table and you decide what's gonna happen because you have influence now.
Elon Musk.
Yeah, exactly. That's a
Yep.
good example.
Yep.
So when you have influence and you have capital back it up, you can start changing the trajectory of things if you don't agree with it. Like you have a voice now, a true voice. And then people want to argue. They spend too much energy on like arguing like you don't need money to do that. Like it's like we can go back and forth on that, but ultimately the dollar rules.
Hmm.
And for like I said, for better, for worse. And I just look at it as a tool and just like a hammer. And with a hammer, you can use it to build a birdhouse, or you can use it to crack someone's head open. It's still a hammer.
Yeah.
It's not
Same tool.
it's the same tool. All that matters is the intention behind the tool and what people use the tool for. So I'm just on a pursuit of stacking my tools, my resources, and then when I see people that have integrity, have ethics, have a moral compass, have all the like ambition and great ideas and good intentions, I would love to be the person that's like, damn, you're dope as fuck. Here's $1 million.
Yeah.
You know that idea you have? Run with it. And like, damn, $1 million. Like,
Take
don't
this
worry, don't
hammer and build that birdhouse.
exactly. And
Yeah.
it's like $1 million won't be nothing because I'll have 100. That's where I would. That's my thing.
Yeah. That's dope. It reminds me of one of your projects is paid in full,
Hmm.
and in inspiration for today's episode, I watched Paid in Full
That's trying to
last
be.
night.
Yep.
Incredible movie.
Yeah.
You have to go watch it.
Yeah.
That's your homework. And one of the best scenes is right after Ace got shot,
Hmm.
and he's got a kid on the way. He's got his baby mama, and he's sitting on the couch with Mitch, and he says, "Mitch, I think I want to get out of the game, man."
Hmm.
He's like, "Why don't you join me?" He goes, "I could. I got enough money. I could get out, but I'm one of those players that loves the game. I
Hmm.
love the hustle, and I could leave the game, but will the fans still love me?" And I think that's so interesting when it comes to that pursuit of money. And this is an example of a drug dealer, right?
Yeah.
Who's not necessarily focused on making the world a better place, but that I think it ties into what you're saying. There's two types of people, and everyone's chasing money,
Hmm.
and then it depends what you do with it.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
know.
No, I agree.
So,
Great scene
yeah,
too,
great
and
movie.
great movie. It just it's raw. It's a lot of lessons in there. The main thing I took out from that is like, so you got Mitch, Ace, and Rico,
Hmm.
the three guys,
Yeah,
and like fuck Rico. You got to watch out for them Ricos. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Rico's he'll stab
But
you in the back.
you need a little bit of Rico in you. So what I mean by that is like, you got to love the hustle like Mitch, love the game like Mitch, be humble like Ace, and be the leader like Ace,
Yeah,
and take no shit like Rico. If you really want to make it.
yeah,
Because that's the other thing. Like when it comes to good-hearted, integrity, ethical people, they take too much shit, in business and in life. So there's got to be a sense like kind of like what Jordan Peterson says, like the shadow. Like Kobe's a good example, like Black Mamba. Like he's a good person, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to GOAT. But like when he stepped on the court, he's like, I'm coming for your head. Like
Yeah.
this is Black Mamba.
The
This ain't
dark
Kobe.
side.
Exactly. So there's got to be that like tenacious side of you, that relentless side, relentless. You know what I'm saying? Shout out fucking Tim Grover, bro.
Yeah. Just
Great
finished
book.
that one
It's a
too.
great book, man, and I love it. It just you're able to peek into the minds of these superstars that were able to accomplish great things. But yeah, man. I mean, the pursuit of money is it's a funny topic. It's just I feel like a lot of people probably have good intentions going into it, and then they lose themselves. Because I have Gucci Mane once said one of the best fucking lines ever. Without sauce, you lost, but you can
Hmm.
also get lost in the sauce. That's fucking facts, bro. Like
Yeah.
it's just I really believe in that. And I think that I've seen so many people in this city get lost in the sauce. Whether that sauce is clout or their own ego or money and the kind of money they're getting. And I think the biggest battle is like on your trajectory is to not lose yourself. So many people lose themselves because it
Hmm.
can fuck you up.
Yeah.
Think about it. Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah. And that dark side exists.
Yeah.
I think that this is one of those things that is rarely talked about, and you really have to seek out extraordinary people to start to learn about this dark side and
Mm-hmm.
how to deal with it, how to acknowledge it, how to harness it and use it. And in the Tim Grover book, he talks about how Kobe and Michael and a lot of the greats, I knew that they had that, but used it to their advantage. And I think a lot of us don't realize that it's there, and a lot of people say, oh, I don't have a dark side. And you could think about the most altruistic people in the world, right? The greatest um, philanthropists, etc. But everyone's got a dark side because we're all humans. We all have these urges and these inner dark thoughts and feelings that we suppress because we are humans that live in a society that needs to function, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's not a lot of room for dark sides in day-to-day interactions, but it's like this really important energy that exists inside all of us. And we talk about you got to have a little bit of Rico in you, right? Like not take any shit. And that's that dark side,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah, you can't take shit, but you gotta like control it.
Yeah.
Jordan Peterson says like, um, don't be docile, don't be like kind or what's the right verbatim that he says like the fool man is not like the kind sweet man. It's like the beast, but can control it. Essentially, that's what he's saying, and it's
Hmm.
like, yo, when you have that Rico in you, like, yeah, don't take no shit, but also don't shoot your homie because of
Yeah.
your greed. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I've seen that. I've seen in the rooms with money on the table, best friends turn to strangers over that. Greed takes over. That green eye, that envy, all that, like, it's real. And that's the biggest battle that we face is our own suppressed desires because we're like you said we're humans but we're animals, bro.
Yeah.
We're fucking animals trying to function in this world. And
Pretending that we're not animals. Yeah.
yeah, and it's like, are you familiar with the works of Robert Greene? Like
No.
like 48 Laws of Power,
Yes,
Artists of Value.
yes.
So yeah. So I mean, take a deep dive on him. He's very very intellectual on all of that, and he has a lot of great stuff to say about like our shadow and excuse me, the suppression of that dark side because we all have it. That's our animalistic reaction to the world, our fight or flight, the amygdala brain, like all that. It's just we have it. And if you're able to be self-aware and understand where it is, like where your lower self resides, and then channel it to be productive in what your pursuit is, I mean, Kobe's the best example of a public figure that did that.
Yeah.
Like he fucking did that on the court. But he was a girl dad, bro. Like he's fucking sweetheart. You know what I'm saying? You see him off the court, he's amazing.
Hmm.
And it's on the court, he'll come for your neck. Like that alley oop gif that I sent you. You're like, yo,
Yeah.
yo,
Insane.
98 All
Just
Star
watch
game,
out.
bro.
I'm
He's
gonna come destroy you. And just
exactly.
channeling that dark energy, and I
Mm-hmm.
will get out of my way
Uh-huh.
because I am here to do what I need to do. And if you're in my way, you're getting trampled.
Facts. And
Yeah.
and then I would also say in the same breath that like Michael Jordan's a great example of him getting lost in that darkness
Mm.
because off the court he was still an asshole.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he was still an asshole. Even at his Hall of Fame speech, if you listen to it and everything, it's
Mm-hmm.
basically 30 minutes of him uncomfortably just coming at everyone that like doubted him along his career.
Really?
Like instead of it being like a moment of like appreciation and everything, you could tell that he just still had that chip on his shoulder. That and but it's like, yo, that's what drove him.
Yeah.
So the argument can be made. It's like, how much do you let it drive you? Do you need that, or can you let it go? And like Kobe's the best example of it, in my opinion, because off the court, so many people speak highly of him. Maybe it's because he's passed. I'm not
Yeah.
sure, but like there's great examples of it. When you see Jordan, like he's an asshole. You know what I'm saying? I like Jordans though. I like the shoe. I like
Yeah.
what he did,
Yeah.
but he's kind of an asshole, and
Yeah.
because he got lost in the sauce. The sauce can mean so much, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Hmm.
I want to talk about Paid in Full.
Let's talk about it.
You know, and
Yeah.
and so at what point did you decide to create this? And let's have it come from you. What is Paid in Full? What does it mean? What does it do? Why does it exist?
Simply Paid in Full is an Instagram page where I share clips of heroes of mine
Yeah.
and just like gems, because I follow the mantra from Jim Rohn, which is success leaves clues. I got into Jim Rohn when I got into Tony Robbins
Mm-hmm.
through Share. It all comes full circle. And when I read Jim Rohn say that, I was like, damn, success does leave clues. Like if you study successful motherfuckers, like you can skip some of the process. You can skip levels. You just have to be open minded and like actually be curious enough to find that info.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, like whenever I'd be like in my head and like be kind of like a little bit down on myself and just having a bad mental health day, I would throw on like compilations of Kobe or something and kind of snap myself out of it, because we all have like that negative voice in our head, that critic,
The doubt.
that doubt that's just so powerful. It can really bully us, bro.
Yeah. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will.
Absolutely. Who said that? Someone said that,
Yeah. Someone
right?
said it.
Yeah, I felt like Einstein said. I don't know.
Someone dope.
Bryce.
Yeah.
Bryce said
Nah.
that. And so I would do that because it's like, yo, if I was having like a day where I'm just like kind of in my head, I'd be like, man, shut the fuck up. Like I need to drown this voice out. Let me throw on some Kobe. Let me throw on some Nipsey or some Jay-Z, Elon Musk or Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs is a big one. Or even like Sadhguru, like spiritual stuff. Jay Shetty is really great.
Mm-hmm.
And they're kind of like my indirect mentors. You know what I'm saying? Like I would literally just close my eyes and act as if they're talking to me. Like if I'm on a phone call with them or if they're in the room with me, and I'm just like, how would I be? Like I would soak up the game. So then I started doing that, and I was like, you know what? Like I thought of the name Paid in Full in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it looked cool after like just from watching the movie, being a fan, and like Paid in Full
Yeah.
was taken like on Google domains, on Instagram, and like no one's doing anything with it. I hate that.
Yeah.
I fucking hate squatters, bro.
Bryce Alsten is just some VC or Bryce. I have Bryce Alsten, but at Bryce is just some VC guy. No post, no nothing.
Fucking, it's
You
like
know.
give it to me, bro.
Yeah.
I want to like we need someone on the team that can just hack that shit.
Yeah.
We need that, bro. I want a hacker. I want a hacker on payroll. I want a hacker on like I want a driver. I want a
We'll
chef.
cut this part.
And I want to no man, fuck that. Like I need security, bro.
Yeah.
The next wars are gonna be being fought on the
internet,
blockchain, on
yeah.
the internet. Like I need someone that like is my right hand or left hand or left foot, something that's
Yeah.
like protecting me, bro, and also getting me my at names. I need that shit. So
Yeah.
if that's you, if you're listening, holla at the boy. Let's do something. But no. So anyways, I thought of the name and I just like rearranged it so it's like paid in. So paid in, one word, full. And then I just shelved it because I was like, I don't know what I want to do with it, but I like it. I like the domain. I like how it looks. I got the domain. I got the Instagram. Cool. And then I just kept doing what I was doing. And then in late 2019 or like 2020, early 2020, I just like had this idea like, you know what, I'm gonna just start cutting this shit up and just putting it out and just see if people fuck with it. Cause like I'm just sharing parts of my soul. Like
Yeah.
that's how I really look at it. And people start fucking with it. And it's been all organic. I didn't do the whole paid followers and all. I hate that shit. I hate looking at an Instagram account and there's 100,000 followers and then you look at the post and it's like 16 likes. It's like, come on, bro. Like that's
Yeah,
so
do the
ingenuine.
math.
I just don't like that. So I just like, you know what? Let me do that organically, and it was
Yeah.
a challenge. And honestly, it's side, like I put 5% of my time into it, but it's fun. You know, it's fun for
Hmm.
me. Like I look through, I find the videos, I'm listening to it. It's like downloading into my
You're
brain,
doing this stuff anyway. It's just
doing it
another couple
anyways.
steps to
Exactly. But
to curate it.
to stay paid in full to me means like one, pay your dues. Like stay paid in full. Like pay your dues in full.
Yeah.
Stay financially independent, financially free. You just get paid in full. Like Jay-Z said, if you owe me $10, you ain't giving me nine. You know what I'm saying? You stay paid in full, and to just always be about your business. You know what I'm saying? But like morally, ethically, like with game and everything, like with code. So like everyone that I put up there, like they got code. Like you know, there's certain people that go up there. So that's where I stand on it, and where I want to take it. Like there's so many directions, bro. Because right now it's still so early in the process. I ultimately know that I want to create it into a network like MTV. MTV is a good network, right? Or like Valuetainment. I'm not sure if you know about Valuetainment from Patrick Bet David, but Valuetainment is it's just like a YouTube channel that he created, and now he signs different talent, and they have different shows, and they put out different media, and it all pertains to business and small business entrepreneurs and like hustle and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I ultimately want to create this into a network that is an umbrella, like a holding company of different shows and pieces of media that get circulated on the internet that promote good business ethics, hustling for yourself and being independent, using internet arbitrage and like the different resources we have, teaching that to people, and content creation. Like I want to I'm really good at spotting people before they blow up. And like if I had the infrastructure already behind me, I'd be like, yo, let me sign this fool for like 2 million.
Yeah.
And then just have them create content under the paid in full umbrella. And like that will happen brick by brick, you know, like I see this happening in a decade. And then who knows? It could be like a festival, like Rolling Loud, you know, it could be like
Conference.
a conference. It could be intertwined with college athletes. A lot of college athletes follow the page. OBJ follows the page. That's probably why because he reposts some of the things. Shout out OBJ, I'm killing it, bro. Congrats. And yeah, man. I mean, to me right now, I'm in kind of like searching mode to search which direction I want to narrow in on while growing the audience. So it's like the audience is still being grown organically, and then where I want to pivot to next is like TBD.
Yeah.
But I like it because I know this is going to be the thing that gets me paid in full. Like I'll sell a majority stake for like 40 million or something.
Hell yeah. Manifesting that.
That's for sure. It's doable. All the stuff that we've talked about with different media companies doing it, it's doable in 2022. Like even during a recession, if you can capture attention, retain attention, and sell the attention, you can generate lots of money that can be used to like build the next thing. And that's what I'm on. Like that's my goal.
What do you think are some of the core elements of content that captures people's attention? Right?
So many things. The core elements would have to be whether it's cringe, whether it's informational, whether it's funny, and it all pertains to good storytelling. All of it. If you can't be a storyteller, you're not going to capture attention. You're not going to retain the attention. You can probably capture it with a good hook, but if you can't be a good storyteller in today's media world, doesn't matter.
Yeah, whether it's media or you're the CEO of a tech company and you're pitching to VCs, you're telling a story.
Telling a story. You're selling them a story.
Yeah.
When you're doing pre-seed or seed fundraising, it's all a story. It's all vision, and it takes a visionary to see a visionary.
Yeah,
that's for sure. Some people can't see the vision. That doesn't mean you don't got it. It just you know what really like when we talk about stuff like this. You know what comes to my mind, and I feel like I'm a little bit in it right now. Like I'm a little bit feeling this right now. Is you saw Genius, the Kanye documentary?
I haven't seen it yet.
Damn, bro.
It's on my to-do list. Yeah, that's my homework.
I saw they did a showing in theaters for one night before it premiered the day after on Netflix. So I saw it at the Grove. It was cool. I just went by myself. I kicked it and watched it. Everyone in that theater was dripped out, by the way. They were some Yeezys everywhere. Yeah. And that first episode, don't worry, no spoiler alerts, but there's a scene where this is Kanye before Kanye and 20 years ago. And he's just a beat maker that's making beats for Rockefeller before he got signed to Rockefeller. And he goes into the Rockefeller offices, and this is literal footage of him in the offices showing them Jesus Walks, All Falls Down, like fucking, not even his anthems, bro.
Iconic pieces of art.
And he's just showing it, and like he has the energy. And then they're just like on their phone. Someone comes in, they're talking to them. They're just like not paying attention, and it's like, it just makes you like really realize like they were playing, like people were playing it. You know what I'm saying? Because I do believe this too, like, and it sucks, but until you have some people rocking with you, it's going to be harder for people to rock with you. And it's just like a psychological thing.
Herd mentality.
Yeah, dude. And it's just, until you get a big cosign, like what it took was him just relent. And then he walks out of those offices, bro, still his head up high and like hopeful and like ambitious and like, nah, they're just sleeping on him. Mm-hmm. And it's like, whoa, you just saw Kanye West, who is arguably one of the most influential people ever and currently, get dogged in the office, complete sunned, and then he's walking out with the most confidence and tenacity in his eyes, and you're like, fuck, dude, he really did have it. Like, he knew. And those moments can suck though, because even though he portrayed that, maybe it was like deeply rooted and like true, he still is human, so he probably still had those like feelings, and it's hard, especially if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a creator and you're putting stuff out there, like with a podcast, for example, it's fucking hard in the beginning.
It's hard and it's scary.
It's scary because you're putting yourself out there to be judged and criticized, and you don't got the numbers behind you, the vanity metrics that we all use for measurement instead of the impact of the words, and it's hard to be judged when you try something new. So only the ones that can really be comfortable can make it. And that's why Kanye made it, because he just, throughout that episode, you see all the things that he was doing, and then finally he got his Rockefeller chain. And then once he did that, that's when people were like, oh, let's pay attention to you now, because someone co-signed you. But first you got to co-sign yourself, you know?
Yeah. What do you think, what are some tactics that you employ to keep that drive going day in and day out when inevitably you hit walls like that, right? When you walk into a room and people write off what you're doing and say, okay, there's a million other people who have that same idea, right? Like, what are some tactics that you can use to stay motivated and stay focused on the mission and push the self-doubt away and know that this is going to work?
Yeah, fuck. This took a while to like cultivate, but you just gotta have a clear why you're doing it. If your why is very clear, very simple of why you're doing what you're doing, that's gonna help you in those moments. Being open-minded to receive criticism helps me, but also being confident enough to hear criticism, and if I know it's not like, they're not right, I'll be like, nah, you don't know what you're talking about. And that's where the arrogance comes in, you know, because there is an arrogant factor when it comes to like building something, and there are people criticizing you and critiquing you and doubting you. You know, so there's gonna be moments where like no one believes in you, and you gotta like be so on your own shit. You gotta believe in yourself, and like that's arrogance, and you can come off very arrogant. You know what I'm saying? Like I've had to be in moments where the only person believing in me was me. And on the outside looking in, people are probably like, man, this kid's a punk. What makes him so special? And it's like, I know what makes him special, but I don't need to tell you. I'll just show you, and it's going to take time. And it does take time. And I've done it, and I've showed it, and I'm still showing it. Like, I'm still like on level 4 of like 100 levels.
Yeah.
But the beautiful thing about compounding is that once it really gets going, you skip like 10 levels sometimes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and like going back to what you said, there's all these incredible, iconic, influential people that all of their advice and resources are right here at the tip of our...
Dude, we have YouTube University. I learned so much on it.
Yeah.
And like Michael Jordan was even like on his basketball team, bro. Like his high school basketball team.
Yeah.
I remember shit like that. I'm just like, and then also like he shot like 24,000 shots in his career and he made 50% of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like he said, like you
Insane.
miss every shot you don't take.
Yeah.
You know, so you just got to take your shots and you're going to get rejected. People are going to doubt you. Have a good mental health routine. Take some fucking mushrooms, zone out real quick, journey within, go to the gym, move your body, put yourself through hell, get punched in the face, do some martial arts,
Yeah.
read a book, meditate, stretch, eat good foods. Like that's the kind of shit that helps me to just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Like those are my tactics.
Yeah.
Is having a strong mental morning routine.
Win the morning, win the day.
Yeah, man. Some people are part of the 5 a.m. club. I wake up at 10 p.m. the night before, and I'm up before everyone. I'm just kidding. I wake
Just
up
don't sleep.
So yeah, I do 10,000 push-ups before
David Goggins.
before David Goggins even opens his eyes. Yeah. Nah, I wake up like 7 a.m. But I have a good morning routine. I have a good flow, and I like to just meditate, breath work. I started doing more of that recently, because I be noticing myself tense up, and then I just like, fuck, I was holding that in.
Belly breathing, right?
Yeah, bro. And honestly,
lots of health benefits.
And mushrooms, bro.
Yep. Love that.
Mushrooms
and then
are good.
We also touched on asking yourself why, right?
Yeah.
So I learned about this in The Third Door. The book, it's called The Third Door, and the concept is that in life there's 3 doors. There's the front door where everybody goes in. It's like a nightclub, right? Mm-hmm. So the main entrance, the line wraps around the building, and everyone waits in line hoping to get in. There's the second door, which is the VIP entrance, which some people worked hard to get into that line, were born into that opportunity, whatever it may be. And then there's the third door, which is a window in the back, a bouncer that you have a conversation with. There's always like some other way to get into the building. And that's besides the point. But one of the things they talk about is asking why. Why are you doing this? And then answer that question and ask why again. And do that 5 more times. And at some point you get to these really like primal core questions. And usually it comes down to because it's going to make me happy. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. And I think that's like a really interesting practice that no one ever talks about. And I had to find in the corner of some random book that I was reading is like, keep asking why. Yeah. You know?
I like
that. And you'll start to find like the real reason why you want things or you do things. Mm-hmm. You know?
It's good to start with why. Simon Sinek. Yeah, start with why. That was my favorite word when I was a kid.
Why?
My mom told me. She was like, you just always ask why. It's like, why is this like this?
And little kids do that. It's like, dude, you can't have a cookie. Kids. Why? Because you can't, it's bad for you. Yeah. Why is it bad for you?
Exactly. Because they don't know. Imagine if the world's problems can be solved by kids.
Dude.
Imagine if we advised kids or kids advised us on shit. Like let's just say war, for example. And you ask a kid like, hey, what should Russia and Ukraine do? It's like, why don't they just play tag?
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, man, why don't they? You know, like, we're getting off topic.
Yeah.
But
ask why.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Ask why. I like to start with why. Have you heard about that? Start with why with Simon Sinek?
Mm-mm.
No? He correlates it to business and like how Apple marketing campaigns all start with why. Like why.
Why marketing, not what marketing, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Like why
1,000 songs in your pocket kind of mentality.
Yeah. The way they do it is they go why they do what they do, how they do what they do, what do they have, and everyone does it the reverse. Like he explained it. I mean, people probably do it now like that since it's really caught on. But he's like, Apple's is like, our why is to connect and drive innovation through. Or connect and drive innovation, like something like that. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, how do they do it? Through beautifully designed products. It's like, what do they have? Here's an iPod. It's like, that's it. Yeah. And it's like, oh shit. Like if you look at all their campaigns, they are like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like that. I do like
Start with why.
Start with why. And it's true. Because sometimes when I feel lost, it's because I lost my why. And I need to zoom out. I need to go to the macro, which I do very well. Like I'm a very macro guy.
Yeah, you have to be, right?
I mean, you don't have to be. Some people are just micro people. Like I think both are needed. Some people just don't have that innately in them, and good organizations have both. You know, like the visionary Steve Jobs. He was the macro person, but is he the micro? Yeah, I mean, he was a little detail orientated, but there was dozens of people probably on payroll that were much detail oriented
Yeah.
than him,
Mm-hmm.
but he was the one that was able to do what he did. I mean, fucking look what he did, bro. He got kicked out of his own company. And then when he came back in 97, it was worth $5 billion. And by 2011, it was worth $350 billion because of him.
Mm-hmm. Macro
Mm-hmm.
guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's dope.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So, any last words? Any thoughts on the Spark? On where we should take this? Words of advice? Any
Mm-hmm.
thoughts? Parting ideas?
I think my piece of advice would be, um, I think we all have different sparks when we're stimulated and we're just out in the world. Um, you can't follow every single one. Part of achieving great things is saying no to 1,000 things.
Mm-hmm.
So find the ones that maybe like a week later, if you're still like, it's still digging at you, follow those. But follow your sparks, because that is an indirect purpose in your life. Like, it's the best way I can put it. Like, that's your instinct.
Mm-hmm.
Sparks are instincts.
Instincts.
Yeah.
I
And
like that.
a spark can change the world. I mean, it can be a wildfire. You can light the masses up with just one little spark. All it takes is one light to light a fire. So follow your sparks. It's gonna lead you down the right path. Don't suppress yourself. Express yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for being here, brother.
Thanks
where
for
can everybody go follow what you're doing and be part of the journey?
You can find me on elonmusk.com. Just I'm probably in the show notes. Andres Zannelli. I'm that on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. I don't do TikTok dances, but I do be dropping some shit on there. And I have a podcast, Zannelli Talks. And follow Paiden for some more motivation. Just see the journey on how it grows. So, yeah. Thanks for having me, brother.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Fuck
Appreciate
yeah,
you, dog.
let's go. Oh, let's go, baby. Let's go.